Hi everyone, it's Mary. So last night I went to my daughter's school gala, and it's a fundraising event so that, they always raise money for something, and I think this year they're raising money for these high-tech stationary bikes. I think they want 30 of them, I'm not sure, but a lot. And they're very expensive. Unfortunately, my husband could not make it because he ended up with an emergency situation with a client, and he could not go. And legitimately, he really could not go. He was so stressed out, and I completely understood. And then my best friend's husband, who was supposed to go to, ended up out of town for business, so he was not able to make it either, and my best friend and I ended up going together. So I had reserved a table because in this gala you can reserve tables, and it was supposed to be a table of 8, but it ended up somehow being a table of 10. And so what it should have been was my husband and I, my best friend and her husband, another neighbor and her husband, and she invited her sister and her brother-in-law. And then when we were at the gala, another neighbor, her and her husband were there, but they were at a table with people they didn't know. So I said, well, why don't you join us? We have 2 extra seats. So they came down and sat with us. What I found very interesting was my one neighbor, I didn't realize, and I'm going to confess, I do not watch the local news. I know it's important to keep up with current events, but my husband, he will watch the news, and he'll read the paper, and a lot of times he'll be telling me what happens. I know it's not right, but I don't know, I'm not a news person. Anyhow, my neighbor's sister and brother-in-law, well, I kind of knew that they were on TV, but I didn't really understand who they were because I don't watch the news. So apparently my neighbor's brother-in-law is a news anchor, and he's on TV every day, and his wife is she's like a part-time kind of person. She was on the news all the time before, but now that they have a baby, she's, stays at home, but she goes on sometimes. And it was very fascinating to watch because people would come up to our table and they're like, oh my God. And then they would ask for pictures with him, and people would come up to our table and introduce themselves to him. It was fascinating because I honestly had no clue who he was. To me, it was just this regular guy. I mean, he's super nice, super charming. I'll probably end up having them over at my home because I was telling this gentleman, I don't want to say his name because I don't know. Anyways, I was telling him about my husband and his hobbies and that, and he has very similar hobbies. So he wants to meet my husband, and we had a great time. It's funny because when my best friend and I went together, I said to her, I don't want to stay too long. I just want to, show up, have dinner, and then let's go. Well, we had such a great time. We were laughing, and the people we were with on our table were just great. We had a great time, and I wish my husband came because I am sure he would have had a wonderful time. They were people that I think he would have found very interesting. But I just found it fascinating watching people react to, I guess he's like a local celebrity. I don't know. I still don't know who he is, really. We Googled him, and oh yeah, he's on a major local TV news thing. And he does, whatever. Anyways. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess I've done that before, too, because when we were in Las Vegas, we were eating at Serendipity's, and we were about to leave, and in the corner, he wasn't eating. He was standing, having a discussion with this guy. But I saw Gordon Ramsay, and he's the chef from Hell's Kitchen, and he has a bunch of other shows. So my husband's a big fan of that show, and actually we all are now, because my husband basically got us hooked on it. So I saw him, and I'm like, oh my God, you're Gordon Ramsay. And I said, my husband's a big fan. And Chris came up, and Gordon Ramsay was so friendly. He shook my husband's hand, and he asked my husband and my children a bunch of questions. And then I asked him if I could get a picture, like my husband and my kids with him. And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. He was so nice. And he was nothing like on the show, because on the show he's always yelling at these other chefs and so on and so forth. But in person, I mean, the 5 minutes that we had with him, he was so nice. So I guess that's what the people last night were like. There wasn't tons of people, but a good 2 handfuls of people came up to him, and they took photos and so on and so forth. But yeah, I just found it really fascinating. And then because I was on the committee, there was a bunch of women going, oh, Mary, next year you have to make sure that you get this guy to maybe MC or do something. And they just assumed that I had known him forever because this was my table. Yeah, so that was my adventure last night. Someone had asked me to show my outfit that I wore, so I'm going to try to insert it here. I did post it on Instagram, but yeah, it's as good as I guess I could get, because I had to take a selfie of myself. But I had a great night. It's been a while since I've done that, where I've gone out and gotten dressed up and socially, just spent time with adults and had a great time. So it was a pleasant surprise, because I was really hoping to get out of there quick. But nope. And, like any sort of fundraising gala, they were constantly trying to get you to spend. They had girls coming up to us, oh, would you like to donate $100 for a bike? And, all right, everybody, okay, let's do this and put money in the envelope and see who wins, or whatever. It was basically money grabbing evening, but we had a great time, and it was for a good cause. Everybody basically left there poor, but it's for our children, so it doesn't matter. So I hope you guys all had a great Friday night too. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. I'm trying to decide whether to go to the movies with my family or should we stay home. I have so much to catch up on. I still have a mountain of laundry to do, but I don't know. Life's too short. Maybe I will go to the movies. We'll see. Well, thanks you guys for watching. Anyways, I just want to thank you guys all for watching, and commenting and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Take care.